President Bush Unchained. The borgcast begins in 10 seconds. WDBC Internet Television is on. I am an avatar for Michael P. Borgia. The borgcast, originating from deep behind enemy lines, is brought to you by dailyborg.com. Conservative politics for the thoughtful. Resistance is futile. You will be assimilated, despite being the target of ridicule by both the media and by his successor. The 43rd president has had very little to say in return, saying only that his successor deserves his silence and his turn to govern. But what if President Bush might say what's really on his mind? It might prove quite enlightening. So we thought we'd give you a look at it from the south lawn of the White House. You'll hear from our version of President Bush when the borgcast continues in a moment.
Hands can do incredible things. Now they can even help save a life with hands-only CPR. If you see an adult suddenly collapse, just call 911, then push hard and fast in the center of the chest until help arrives. Learn more at handsonlycpr.org.
No. Pain. Oh, is that my heart? My heart. My heart? No. It'll pass. 911. Could call 911. No. Ambulance. Couldn't do that. Sirens. Neighbors rushing over. Embarrassing. Too embarrassing. Maybe I'll feel better later. Oh.
Some people would rather die than call an ambulance. So that's exactly what they do.
Greetings, fellow Americans. I'm George W. Bush. I've come out today to speak out on behalf of my fellow 14 million unemployed Americans. I've pretty much kept my own counsel these past 3 years, while you-know-who, living in the big White House behind me, has pretty much blamed everything he could on me. But I think we need to set some things straight, now that my successor has chosen to seek another term. My successor railed against me for running up $5 trillion in debt in just 8 years. I thought it was a dollars amount he was mad at. Turns out it was a time frame. He's done the same thing in only 3 years. He loves to blame me for the recession he inherited from me. Not a single net new job has been created under this president. And that's in spite of over $1 trillion of stimulus. He still can't create a net gain of jobs. You know, I inherited a recession too. And a stock market crash. I did the opposite of what Mr. Obama did. I cut taxes and kept government growth restrained. We brought America out of what could have been a new Great Depression after 9/11. The guy living behind me has done the exact opposite. And produced exactly the opposite result. We are very much opposites of each other. I made the hard calls he abstains from. He bows to foreign dictators, while I commanded their respect, or fear. I reduced the deficit 4 straight years. He hasn't done it even once. I made it possible to increase domestic oil production, something he takes credit for, while he chases our oil rigs away and puts the world's largest oil reserves, our own, out of reach. We tried to reach out to the moon. Obama's abandoned space. We protected the most innocent of lives, while Obama protects contraceptives. We reformed education, while my successor takes our kids backwards. We placed 2 of the brightest jurists in America on the Supreme Court, while my successor's nominees were underqualified and uninspiring. I've been silent a long time, but I can't anymore. My country deserves better than what it is getting from its leader. It's time for change. We'll be back when the broadcast continues in a moment.
When you drive for a living, you buckle up every time, whether you drive one of these or one of these. Truckers know what I'm talking about, because no matter how good a driver you are, trouble can still happen. That's when you want to keep your safety belt on to keep you steady, behind the wheel, in control, and looking out for everybody. Safety is a professional driver's responsibility. Remember, you're the one who drives for a living.
A message from the U.S. Department of Transportation.
My uncle calls.
speech all slurred, complaining his arms numb. He called everyone. He even called my daughter Tiara because she's got a year of nursing. Everyone thinks he needs to go to the doctor, including me. So he said, well, will you take me? I'm like, I'm on the road. He goes, I'll wait. Stroke's no joke. If you or someone you love have symptoms of stroke, don't wait. It may be too late. Dial 911.
There's a long way to go yet in this primary season, but as we've predicted here in Daily Borg, Mitt Romney appears to be on course to effectively finish off Rick Santorum by the April 24th primaries. Santorum is expected to win his home state of Pennsylvania that day, but he faces primaries in 4 other states. Current polling suggests he will lose all 4. And in expected losses in Maryland and Wisconsin 3 weeks earlier, and that should be enough to begin shoveling the dirt on Santorum's political grave. Republicans are pretty much in a mood to put an end to this contest and move on to Obama. Hopefully Mr. Santorum will realize that, while Mr. Romney might still be in a mood to put him in the cabinet. You have been assimilated.